Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to Turn Order, the Seventh Eon, episode number 5, the final hour. Welcome back. The group is currently poring over various documents. I would like everybody to roll an investigation check.
Can we get advantage because we're helping each other?
No.
Keep an eye out for anything mentioning a man with a green mask as well.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. And anything related to the cerulean sky, too. I have some...
Yeah, something like a jade mask.
Investigation. Badoosh.
Okie doke. Alrighty. It's slow going for a bunch of you. Ignia, Ori, and Belmorn. You're pouring through like the various reports and things. A lot of it seems kind of inconsequential. Like, you guys are going through a lot of stuff, and you're not really finding a lot of super helpful information. You're kind of getting a lot of reports here. Let me switch the map over. And let's zoom in on Zahuras. Oops. And I'll switch over for the chat as well. I think we can get rid of the boat too. The sheep. The sheep. Okay. Yeah. So right now the group is in Kazakhs. The reports that you are reading, Belmorn, seem to be coming from along the road to the west, which is kind of like a main road, but they seem pretty minor. There's a few people reporting like some aggressive animals and things like that, but there haven't really been a lot of attacks and whatnot in the reports that you're reading.
So roads to the west, but not a lot of action.
Yeah, it just seems like some aggravated kind of like monkeys throwing some shit and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
territorial displays and stuff. Maybe a little bit out of the ordinary, but nothing like crazy. Ignia, you're getting information. The information that you're reading, you've got like a little bit of everything. It's sort of coming from all directions around Kazakhs. But again, you don't have anything that really jumps out at you. You're trying to like look through stuff. You're trying to sort of like tie together different pieces of information in regards to what you heard about a mask, anything about the Cerulean Temple, and you're not seeing any of that. It just seems like little reported events. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
just kind
like
of general kind of
news.
things. You know, the stuff that he gave you is like everything. He gave you like the fucking stack of information, like every little tiny report. Ori says, I'm not, I haven't seen anything about the mask or temple. I see there's a few monkeys and things to the north, but I don't see anything else. So she kind of like marks down, you know, with the quill that's like way too big for her on the map, that you're sort of starting to flesh out. And you guys are like drawing dots, I guess, like at various approximate locations. And they're usually just kind of like general locations. It's kind of like off the road, you know what I mean? So stuff is mainly happening like off the road from Kazakhs. Drab, you are pretty well versed in terms of like filtering out like the garbage kind of reports and the stuff that's like legit. You can almost tell just by looking at the report, like, okay, this one has a lot of detail. I should probably read this one. As opposed to really general information. Okay, this is worthless. Put it to the side. And you find that You find 3 different reports that catch your interest. You find a report about there's basically like a serious report of 2 people that died. It was basically like a traveling a group of some of the performers that were traveling to Kazakhs. Some of the street performers, they were traveling like a small troupe. So there was like some musicians, some acrobats, and stuff like that. They were making their way to Kazakhs. And 2 members of the troupe died along the way, which is pretty serious. You can see that they were killed by what they said was some birds, a giant flock of birds. But as some of the notes that you're reading from like the magistratus that was interviewing them, you can see that he writes things down like bats ? Birds ? It basically, the magistratus is making his own comments, saying that the story sounds very similar to bat behavior that we've seen in Zahuras, and the way that the people are describing these birds are acting, the sort of like echolocation and stuff. He's writing stuff down like, were they confused ? Like, how did they mistake birds for bats? You know, there's lots of that kind of notation that's put down there, just kind of like in the margins and stuff. For you, Kelvin, you find the report of the person with the jade mask. You actually find that specific report, and it's specifically like, it's got like a few different colored marks on it and stuff like that. Like, it's probably marked like as I want to say there's like Post-it notes on there, but they don't have Post-it notes. So there's probably like
strips of cloth or something.
Yeah, like it's got some kind of like marking to it. You know, it's got like a bookmark or something on it. So you were able to find it like relatively quickly. So you've been reading about it like in depth. What appears happen in this report is that one of the ruins located to the northeast of Kazakhs, along the river, the Magistratus sent up a patrol there after hearing about an attack. The attack was only witnessed by one survivor. It appears that it was a group of a caravan of merchants that were making their way to Kazakhs to sell goods, and all but one were wiped out. We're talking like a group of like 10 to 20 people with guards. The person that made it back to Kazakhs to tell them about this has seemingly gone mad. They have this like really strange interview that you read through. It's kind of like gibbering nonsense. This person, however, had a jade mask that was on their belongings that did not match with their merchandise that they were selling. It was probably like a maybe like a spice vendor or something. They had like some exotic spices, and then he had this extremely valuable like, you can tell there's probably like some rough estimates of what this mask is worth, like written in the report. Something crazy. It's something like thousands and thousands of gold. This like really like expensive jade, like solid jade mask. And the mask was represented. It was a representation of a sort of like what looks to be like an ape-like creature. And yeah, the interview is just nonsense. Like like you can see they ask like all these like basic kind of questions, and the person's responding with stuff like that makes no sense, like Mother Tuesday. You know, like it's all this kind of, it's all just like utter nonsense, gibberish.
And what's the timeline of this incident?
This took place approximately. This was one of the earlier reports. It was probably something like 17, 18 days ago, something like that.
So fairly close to the first incidents.
Yes.
Instances of reports.
Yes.
Okay. Well, it's not what I expected, but so they. I'm guessing like just like a quick sketch of like the mask.
Are you reading that up? Like,
thingy. Yeah.
Well, I think everybody's kind of been reading their own stuff, right? You know?
Yeah.
There's probably been like a lot of sighing coming from you and Belmorn and
yeah, I know,
Ori.
but like, if he obviously reads about the mask, I assume that he tells us this.
Oh yeah. So, pause, everyone. You can take a break.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, can I come and thank you so much?
Yeah. Well. So this mask thing that I heard about might actually be directly connected. So
Think it
it's
could be the artifact?
No, I think it might be. Well, you know how sometimes there's an object and it's really valuable, and people put it somewhere and then they're not supposed to take it away. I think this might be something like that.
Ownership? Stealing?
Well, you know, but maybe this is a curse or something.
Do you think?
Oh.
I mean,
Anybody
assume
dealt
the
with
mask
curses
is magic.
before?
Well,
I mean, I've said a lot of them.
Really?
I've dealt with a few in my day, but
I feel like
nothing.
you, Ignia, and I think it was Drab, all share a look.
Oh yeah.
Does that sound like it? Because the person with the mask came in round about the time, you know, close to when this first started happening. And the mask is very valuable. They're saying here it's worth thousands upon thousands of gold.
Where
And
did
it
the
was
mask originate?
from some ruins. So I'm thinking maybe
Has anyone read anything about any runes in this area?
the curse. It's I point to the circle. It's here.
So from what you can tell, roughly, from the way it's described, somewhere about there is where the ruins were.
Yeah. It's right about up there. I take a quick look at other people's scribbles and notes on there. Is there any connection between other attacks? Like, is there more intense attacks near that area? Is there less attacks further away from it?
From what you can see from the rest of the people, no.
Okay.
You guys are getting very much like conflicting information about locations. You're getting sort of a little bit of everything within that sort of range. Drab Your location. Where was yours? I can't remember where I told you it was.
Don't think you said where it was.
Okay, so
It
yours
was
the farthest.
performers were traveling.
Yours was the farthest out. Yours was actually west, and it was about there.
Can you do that again?
The western red mark.
I
there.
see.
Well, I'm not sure how curses work. It's not my area of expertise, but
I'll mark.
Wait.
I'll make some marks like where you guys sort of like
Yeah.
heard some stuff.
I mean, because the main thing is, like, someone scribbled a picture of the mask, and it looks kind of monkeyish.
I mean, I say that is our lead then.
And if they found it in ruins, well, I could say I've experienced some ruins before, and they can often have very unusual things happening in and around them. So, but
Do we have any idea where the mask could possibly be?
if they have an evidence lockup or something that might be in there, we could ask the other guy, the grey one, and see if he's up with it.
His
Telling
grapes.
us about, yeah, the grapes guy.
Failing that, we should probably check out the ruin.
I think
Can
that's
I-
our first step for sure. It's our best lead, I think.
Could I do a history check? I'm curious if any of my any of my studies growing up as a noble was based on history and ancient history of the surrounding areas. Like, was there a book that I had read at one point that had ancient civilizations of, God, what's the name of Talanis? Like that could pin it or anything in Zaharaz or anything along those
Give
lines.
me a history check.
These rolls today.
Nah, I
Nothing.
mean, if anything, you might have like a bit of history about like Radun, but
Okay, but nothing in
Yeah.
in Zaharaz. Okay.
Yeah. We can ask about the mask, give him back the reports. Then maybe we can... I don't know if they have a library here. I expect so. It's a nice big city. We could maybe go to a library and try and find out some local histories or stuff like that. Maybe some ancient religions or something. Maybe see if they liked monkeys.
Do
and
you-
then
Do you
work
think
from
that
there.
they have books on Bahamut?
They
I don't think it's
I
the
roll
time
my
for books
eyes.
on the Hamlet.
they may
I just want to
or-
read when I go to sleep.
Oh,
I
right,
have
well,
I have a text that you can read.
okay. So, plan is, see if we can get the mask to have a look at it. Find the library, do some studying, and then head out to the temple in the morning.
Oh, when you say find the mask, you just mean find more information. The library, correct?
Well, we can ask and see if they'll let us have a look at the mask.
What? I'm confused. The mask
Oh,
itself.
The mask
Where is the
came-
mask currently?
Well, it
Well-
came with a merchant, and he in the report. He came in. They asked him questions. He spoke gibberish, but he had the mask. And does it say like moved to secure storage? or anything?
absolutely. It definitely says like it was moved to security storage facility, or not
Oh,
facility.
I
It
thought-
says the mask was taken to like evidence lockup or
The
whatever.
vault.
Yeah.
Well,
Yep,
we should
you've
bring
got it.
that evidence to Brightbane and see if we can find a library and discern more information about those ruins.
Yeah.
Also, a bloody pub.
Don't forget, I
also,
will buy the first few
Yeah.
rounds.
After the library, probably though.
I like how you changed from a few first rounds to, or from all the rounds to a few first rounds.
I'll take it.
Right, clean up your papers, stack them back into folders in order, and make sure that you put any bookmarks back in where they belong, and we'll take them back. Now, like, I've got mine can organized pretty well, so I just go. There we go.
Does Jarab just have like this pile of shit? Like, it's all.
No, I think because he's used to dealing with paperwork that he hates, he just doesn't get it messy to begin with. It looks like it's been rifled through, and he doesn't tidy it any much. But he knows how much of a nightmare it is, so he just kind of tries not to mess it up.
He does that thing
in the
where
first place.
where he takes the piece of paper and lays it face down next to it, so he can just flip the whole pile. At the
Yeah,
end.
totally. Done.
Right, let's go.
Okay, you guys gather your shit back together. Walk back towards the towards Samuel's office.
Place. Yeah.
Knock on the door.
Leia.
Come.
Yep. Okay. Hello, sir. So we had a look, and I'm a little practiced at finding the source of trouble, and my best guess would be the ruins up to the north, slightly east. And a report from around there says a mask came in with it. Do you mind if we have a look at it? Just
That report wasn't supposed to be with those documents. Where is it?
I'll get it right away if you, sir. And I flick through what it is and pull it out. Here you go, sir.
Okay. Yeah, he sort of takes it quickly from your hand and says,
Who put this in here?
Signed at the bottom there.
he stands up, slams his hand on the table on top of the report, and for the first time you really see how big this guy is. He's bigger than Belmorn, and he's like quite like wide. And he's sort of like leaning forward on top of the report, and he says,
You will forget about this. This mask is not part of your investigation.
It surely is.
Fair
because
enough.
It has a monkey on it.
No,
Obviously, bit of a mistake. It's been put in the wrong pile. Nothing to do with this investigation whatsoever. I'm gonna give you a knowing glance. There, Althea, Ignia.
"Wow, wow."
We'll
What's
never
that?
let Blood and Mist go. Just.
I never let you go, Jack.
with respect, sir, some of the reports mentioned angry monkeys, and the mask kind of looks like a monkey,
Can I
which I'll
put
forget
my hand
shortly.
over his mouth?
And I'm trying to.
Yeah,
block you.
I put my hand over his mouth from the other
And
side.
it's no.
Or he's like climbing up your back, like.
And it's
Giving you a fucking rear naked.
and it all started around the time that you can't stop me.
It's
Started
just
around the
something
time
special. It's-
at the same. I think it's.
He's always had problems letting things go.
I think
Come on.
it's connected, sir.
He sort of
really
like
do.
he sort of furrows his brow and he says,
Listen closely to me.
Okay.
This is not your concern.
Then, just curious, is there a ruin nearby? Would you think we read something in the other report that could relate to the wild beasts being in the ruins?
Do not go into the ruins. I warn you for your own lives. They would
What
be very difficult to keep.
Well,
Well, I found this report on birds. We should probably check that out. At the moment, it seems like the most important thing, the most important thing we
I
could
don't
possibly
mean
look
to-
at right now.
I don't mean to pry, sir. I understand you're very set on this, but is there any reason that you could share with us that you're absolutely certain it's not connected?
"Give me a persuasion check."
I'm trying to be polite, but I've always got this look about me.
This certain je ne sais fuck you.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, shit.
Wow, there's the one. Okay. So the best part about it is that that's a 2.
Yeah.
So he just kind of looks at you, and you've got this kind of like,
Maybe it's a wee bit.
he twitches a little bit, like as he's looking at you.
We'll be going.
Yep. Come on, Calvin. I'm firmly around your shoulders.
So
Come
he
on,
says,
Wait a moment.
I flinch a little.
Wait a moment.
he says,
Here.
he gives you, you can see that there's 5 pieces of, there's like 5 pieces of paperwork with what looks to be like small, sort of like badges. They're sort of shaped like a coin. They're circular, a little bit bigger, maybe like, I don't know. Maybe like say like 4 inches in diameter, something like that. Circular kind of things. They're green, and they have a silver border around them. And they have what looks to be like the symbol for Zahuras on them. The heraldry. And he says,
Fill out this paperwork. These are provisional magical licenses. He says, you will have no reason to use magic in the city, but outside of the city, you have permission. It is under no circumstances available to you to use to kill anyone. Any incidents of murder are unacceptable.
What about self-defense?
Self-defense is another matter.
Alright, so you're absolutely certain we can.
You will not
Just
be
not-
able to use magic in the city. Is that clear?
That's clear. I've just got a really strong gut feeling about that thing that I've already forgotten about. That maybe you just think on it a little bit, sir. I've got here, and I like take my notes that I've made. 'Cause I totally made a copy. Here, like, here's the notes we've made on looking through the paperwork. If you maybe look it over and think that we might be right, and we'll be in that inn you told us to go to later. I can leave a message there for us. Don't mean any disrespect, but you know.
Are you absolutely 100% sure we can't be using magic inside the city? Just in case? I prefer to have the shield and not need it than not have the shield and need it. Sir.
The licenses are quite clear. No magic inside the city. If you're able to find more information, then perhaps we can talk. But until I see a necessity to use the magic in the city, it is not allowed.
Right.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, we may be back later. If not, we'll speak to you when necessary, sir. Remember, I marked those out clearly for you there.
Fill out the form and all that stuff.
Yeah, like
Yeah. Mine
same.
clearly says alchemy across it, so I know it's mine. 'Cause
Oh,
it
yeah.
doesn't say magic.
I mean, you guys can tell from reading the reports, like, this place is, like, pretty thick with red tape and bureaucracy, you know? Like, you've seen the reports, and, like, stuff is filled out in, like, fucking triplicate, and, you know, there's,
the
like...
Vogons.
Yeah, there's just a shit ton of information that you have to put down on this, like, your current residence, and blah, 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 you know, like... Do you have any other licenses that we should be aware of? You know, like bullshit like that.
Just before I go, sir, where's the library in town?
There are a few libraries. If you wish to see the largest, there's one in the Pinnacle Tower.
And we're allowed to go there. Is that yes?
The first few floors, yes.
Okay. Anyway, we get special permission for others. Or...
And he looks at you and says,
There are special permissions, yes, but unfortunately you do not have them.
What if our investigation leads to those areas of the libraries?
We'll come across that problem if it happens.
Very well. We'll be out of your hair now. Thank you very much, Your Grace.
Thanks, sir. Yep. You might want to get an assistant and a filing system, maybe, for the...
Let's go, Kelvin.
Yep, okay.
he
This
sits
guy
down.
who's literally like 6 times the mass of me.
Yeah, he like sits down and like you hear the massive creak of his like giant chair. It's like, you know, like the wood's straining. Yeah, he weighs a lot. Like he weighs like a good amount more than you, Belmorn. Like he's a meaty dude. Yeah. So he takes your forms and whatnot, and he looks them over real quick, and then he hands them back to you, and he says,
Give these to the magistratus at the front desk. They will activate your badges.
Very well.
Righty. Cheerio now.
Do you perhaps have a map? Before...
Sure, we can find a map. Helps to have a map.
Won't be too much of a hassle to track one down.
Especially if we're gonna venture out outside of this area.
Yeah, I don't think we need to bother Grace with this.
Okay. Yeah,
Leave,
like,
go to the
make
front
for the
door.
door. Yeah.
you can like hear the spittoon like, "Ding!" Okay, so you guys walk out, head on down the long hallway back towards the front desk, and you can see it's gotten like a bit quieter. Night has fallen. It's probably about 8 or 9 o'clock by the time you guys are done looking through paperwork and all that shit. You hand them your forms, and you give them the badges. You can see that the magistratus officer there starts to activate some spell work on the badges. You can see like some runes and things like light up on the badges, and when he hands the badges to each of you, he says, "State your name as you place the badge upon your person."
And I just go, Ignia? And I put it on me.
You feel this like tingle sort of flow out from the badge across your body as you put it on.
Oh. What is this feeling?
The badge has been activated, milady.
I put the badge on and I like whisper to the badge, Kelvin Ironbrew.
Yeah, and it just kind of it sort of like lights up the same way, and you feel the same tingle. And he says,
When the badge is activated, a magical trace will be placed upon you if magic is used.
Not sure if I'm a fan of this.
It's
What
the law,
happens
my
if
lady.
you were to use magic when you're not allowed to use?
Well, there's no worry about that, because none of us will do such an act.
I'm
I
just
can't-
curious.
I can't even do magic. I'm an alchemist.
And he sort of like looks around and he says,
According to law, Article 72-B of the Magical Code, alchemy and magic are closely related, sir.
Closely related, but not the same.
They are, for our purposes, similar effects,
Right.
and therefore it is closely guarded.
It is a powerful tool. Okay. The library. The
Pub.
the one in the tower. That's where from here?
The Pinnacle
I think
Tower
you said. Yeah.
is northeast of here, sir.
Much appreciated. Right, everyone off to the library. More reading to be
Pub.
done.
Definitely mean the pub.
No, the library first. Come on, we've got work to do.
I vote for the pub.
Library first it is.
I've
when I
been
start
reading
heading out.
enough today.
Yep. Can't be reading on an empty liver.
Exactly.
Peachy, go, Drab, give yourself inspiration. That was a good one. That was a good one. We'll give you inspiration on that one.
You're just gonna take it off for the next bad joke I do.
I know. But now you have, something that I can remove.
I only
Yeah,
give you things so I can take them away.
exactly. That's what a DM's job is. It's to prop you up and then smash it down. Absolutely. Okay, so Belmorn leaves. Ori is closely walking nearby, and you Ori and Kelvin start heading that way. Drab and Ignia just. What are you guys doing?
As they start working off, think we need a team meeting.
Exactly. At the pump, right?
Probably the best. Ignia, now I think about it, probably the best.
Yeah.
We can do it in the library.
Yep. Definitely not the right atmosphere for a team meeting.
Exactly.
We're
You can't be talking in the library.
we're
that's weird.
we're representatives of the Iron Foxes, so we should be.
And you wouldn't want them thinking that the Iron Foxes are a bunch of pussies.
No,
Good.
I don't
She's
think
right,
that
you know,
has to
she's
do
right.
with anything, Drab. What I'm saying is we should represent the Iron Foxes and do our work well. Mr. Vaupan is he's counting on us.
Yeah,
Yep.
but you do know, Ori, that we can't speak in a library. We have to be very quiet. So
Oh,
tea
that's-
meeting would only be disturbed.
You can speak in a library. It's just you have to be
and
quiet.
people can hear you speaking in a library because it's bloody quiet.
I'm worried about discussing the job in a pub of all places. There's far too many ears.
Have you heard
Well,
of the things that are discussed
that
in
would
the
be
pub?
Good idea. Maybe we can figure out some more things. As far as I'm concerned, that mask definitely has something to do with it.
100%.
And I
Well, that's why
definitely
we're
want
going to
find
the
out.
library, because if we can go to the library and prove it has something to do with it, then we take it back to him, and then he'll have to show us the mask, and he'll let us go to the temple. So
Well,
that's why
it
we're going
has
to the
been-
library to prove it.
It has been town of the talk or talk of the town. Maybe perhaps in the pub there'll be more people talking about it.
So I feel like you guys are probably like somewhere about here. You've made it like there before you decide like, okay, are we either going
Where?
this way? It's like because you probably made it like a couple blocks. You guys probably went like that way. Oops, let's do that so the stream can see it too. That would be smart. Okay. So yeah, you guys are probably like about here.
Where's the pub?
I don't think you know. But you probably stopped right about
I know
there.
exactly where the pub is because I took the magical item.
You took the magic.
Tells me where pubs are.
Really?
No, it doesn't.
I don't. Are you shitting
No,
me?
I that's the one I picked up.
Wait,
what's it called?
I gotta look.
Cool.
I don't.
It's real.
I feel like
But
Peachy is 100% lying.
Made up his own.
Yeah, he just
Cool.
created
No,
something.
no, it's the magical. Where's the magical item list? I wrote it down on there. Which one I had?
But you're with a dwarf.
The drunken gauntlets of neutrality.
That's the one. That's the one.
Oh, so we didn't actually mark that. So this is Peachy. Okay. Yeah, so the bearer always knows the direction to the closest alcoholic beverage.
Yeah, it's about 2 feet in front of you
Great idea.
and about 3 feet down.
No,
You just
it's-
following Kelvin around.
It's pointing to like a few. You're getting like this kind of like general line, like to various houses around you, like.
You're muted. You're muted, Peachy.
I'm sure I can feel a stronger pull towards the. Look, I didn't pick any of the broken magical weapons. You will, for the love of God, give me this whack
Give me an insight check.
with advantage.
Sure, we'll give you. Well, do you want? Is this how you want to?
I will.
Do
fucking
you want to
God
spend
damn,
your
I will use my
inspiration?
20.
You know where the pub is.
Oh, that's how I play D&D, everyone.
Yeah, the Ebb and Flow Tavern is number 6 on the map there. So yeah, you're feeling that way. So Drab was trying to go to the east basically, and Kelvin, Ori, and Belmorn were trying to go that way, up along the main roads. So you guys stop at that sort of like that fork. Trying to decide, and Drab and Igni are trying to head east, and the rest of you trying to head sort of like northeast. As you do, several things start to happen all at once. You guys all kind of notice that you're the only ones on the street that are seemingly talking, except for a few individuals that seem to be moving towards you in a sort of aggressive fashion.
Oh shit.
There are approximately 7 or so that you can see. They're wearing green robes with a golden trim.
Do we know them?
I grab my shield,
Looks like they want to know us.
take my hammer.
Hello! How are you doing? What can we do for you?
Great tactic. Bugger off.
Their hoods fall back, and underneath the hoods, you can see white fur and sort of odd ape-like faces.
That's not good.
And that's where we're going to end the session today.
Ape-like faces.
Yes.
Dawn of the planet of the apes.
Are we in Glasgow?
Don't you see I look like a monkey, you fucking fanny? I'll rip your jaw.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, so good session, everybody. And yeah, we're gonna finish things up here. Let's go around the room. Let's do some shout outs as we finish up episode 5. Kelvin, you want to start us off there, bud?
Oh, I'd be glad to. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Zgodicus, and I play the charming Kelvin Ironbrew here on the Seventh Eon. I'm also on Turn Order Warped, which hit Season 2, Episode 0 yesterday, where I created Simon, aka Freak, who is a very nice person, actually. If you want to catch both of those shows, make sure you follow here. If you want to hang out with me more, it's Zgodicus on all the internet places. I do broadcast on Twitch, and I do tweet things on Twitter, and I do post nudes on Instagram, so... I don't even use Instagram. Too? I've got one. I sent dick pics. I sent a couple people at the cast them earlier.
Yeah, I sent Mac a dick pic earlier.
Yeah, PJ, you sent me your dick pic. I didn't expect it to be black.
I got both of my dick pics for the first time. I got, you know, like, this is my first experience with dick pic.
Yeah, a double date.
Double penetration.
Oh my god.
Hey.
Oh my god.
By me and Peachy. By me and Peachy. It's kind of like having...
Mark, I love you so much.
It's kind of like having a jumbo sausage and a chipolata at the same time.
Bobby's doing his best Belmorn impersonation right now.
Yeah. So that's that, I guess. Thanks for hanging out, guys.
Yeah. Charlie's not with us today, but you should totally go follow her. Peachy Drab.
Guys, I'm Peachy Pixelate. I've been playing Drab today and being disgusted by the filthy minds of everyone on the cast, apart from Bobby. Look how stoic he is. Look at him. Look at that majestic beard. Follow him. Don't follow me on twitch.tv/Peachy Pixelate. Follow Iron Chef Bobby Flail. He the man.
Follow me instead. Definitely.
Damn straight. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you just tuned in, watch the VODs. It's fun. God damn, this show is fun.
I really like this setting. Like, it's so much nicer than fucking Ravenloft.
Oh god, getting punched in the face by a badger is nicer than Ravenloft.
Yeah, but that's the beauty of Ravenloft. It's such a shithole that like it just tweaks your horror nipples, you know?
Horror nipples.
Yeah.
I don't have horror nipples. I'm normal.
The pictures say otherwise. Ignia.
Hi, I am playing Ignia, and we could say we're in some monkey business. And yeah.
Bobby looks more offended by that joke than he does about the double penetration comment.
I hate puns. Jokes and puns. I can't.
It is monkey business, literally. It wasn't a pun. It was just the true fact that we're in monkey business. Anyways, interesting. I do really like this setting. Like, I really like this setting so much more than Ravenloft. It's like, it's a happier place. Even though bad shit happens, I feel like whenever we're having fun as characters, it's like really fun. Like in Ravenloft, you had fun, but it was this pain, awkward moment where you're like trying to make jokes and nobody's laughing. Kind of fun. I don't know. Enough of this monkeying around. You can find me on Twitter as Maquanas. Make sure you follow everyone here on the show. And yeah, see you next week. Oh, you'll make Bobby go bananas. You mean Maquanas. Okay, never mind. I'm on.
Wow. Belmorn, please save us.
I'm Bobby. I stream on Twitch in the mornings. I played Belmorn. These guys are just a bunch of crazy freaks. See you next week. That's all I got.
That's all you have the time for after that.
Yeah.
What's up, everybody? I'm Wacksteven. I am the DM of Doom. I have dragged these guys kicking and screaming through the adventure today. Thank you guys so much, chat. Thank you for participating. We love you. Thank you for being an awesome community. Thank you for helping us create this awesome setting that we're enjoying so much. And we will be doing a lot more setting creation. Geek Dice is currently sort of organizing a group of DMs and players. If you guys love the setting, and you want to be a part of this setting, you totally can. Because Geek Dice is grabbing a bunch of DMs to sort of playtest a campaign setting that I will be releasing for Talanis. So if you guys like the setting and you want to play in it and you want to have your own fun D&D games in it, you totally will be able to. We're currently working on that, and I think we're looking for some players to sort of like help play test and stuff, which I'll probably be releasing like a sort of really early version of some stuff to get started with soon to some DMs that want to participate in that. So you should come hang out in the Salt Mines Discord there. And I'd love a follow here too, twitch.tv/Wacksteven and at Wacksteven on Twitter, where you can see updates. I'll be streaming like a bunch of DM prep stuff again this week, as well as probably some No Man's Sky, which I've been having a lot of fun with as well. Yeah, if you want to come help and contribute and add stuff to this wonderful world that we're creating, you totally can. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you, Peachy. Thank you, Bobby. Thank you, Zagonicus. Thank you, Mac. And thank you, Charlie, even though you're not here, for being awesome role players and helping to create as well. Thank you guys so much. You have a wonderful rest of your weekend, everybody. Peace out. Good night.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Peace.